What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC. Today we're taking a look at the Thrunite Catapult Mini V2. This flashlight's available in two colors, the desert tan you see in front of you, as well as a black option over on Amazon for $39.99. And I will link to that in the description if you're interested in checking this flashlight out. Really great output for that price point of $40 or so at 1108 max lumens in your turbo mode. Running off an 1100 milliamp 18350 battery, and has an aluminum body. We get an IPX8 waterproof resistance, which gets you down to about 2 meters, and a 1.5 meter drop resistance. Now this one's not exactly your pocket dropper, but I do love the shape of it for whatever reason. But the reason it's not great in the pocket is that head has a diameter of about 1.59 inches, so it is going to be a bit of a bulky one, a little bit of a bulge at that head. Does taper down to about an inch or so, and it's 3.3 inches long. Again, anodized aluminum body, so we're looking at 4.06 ounces with that battery installed. And one thing I really appreciate about my Thrunite flashlights is the simple user interface, especially if you're already in the Thrunite ecosystem. Most of the lights, I think all of the lights actually have the exact same operation, so it makes it very easy to remember. You have your kind of basic modes, which are your low, medium, high, and to get to them, you can just single click that button. Has a memory mode, so right now we're in our low mode, which is 70 lumens, 6.6 hours on that. We can hold that for a second to jump up to our medium, which is 160 lumens, 2.75 hour runtime. Also want to note that it does have a really wide beam and a very clear light. You don't see any yellows or greens around the edges or blues in the middle. It's just a very pure white light, which is great. You can hold it again to get into your high mode, which is 331 lumens, for 68 minutes. We also have that battery indicator on the top. In the blue mode, that means I believe we're over 20%, so not a lot of variation. Once you drop past blue into your purple or your reds, you know you're getting close to needing a charge, especially once you get into the reds and the flashing reds, you want to plug this one in. It is USB-C rechargeable, so it does include that USB-C cord with it, which is great. And it didn't note it when I was doing it, but if you cycle past that high mode, it will drop back into the low mode. And again, wherever you turned off is where it will go back on. But we do have a bunch of other modes that do require some memory. Again, since I'm already in the ecosystem, it was pretty easy to remember these modes, but once you get them down, very simple. Your Firefly mode, which is their equivalent of a moonlight, you hold for 2 seconds from the off position. You're getting 0.6 lumens for 85 hours. And to me, that actually looks like a bit more than 0.6 lumens. I feel like it's brighter than some of the 10 lumen moonlight modes that I have on other flashlights. I'm not 100% sure, as I don't have a way to measure lumens, so taking them at face value, but that does seem a little bit brighter to me than 6 lumens. You can jump into your low mode by holding that button. However, if you cycle all the way through, it will not drop back into Firefly mode. It goes back into low mode. So to get back, you do need to turn it off and then hold it again for 2 seconds. Then we have our turbo mode, which is a quick double tap, and that'll get you 1108 lumens, so really bright output. Now that's gonna last for 80 seconds, which is pretty good for a turbo mode, before stepping down into our step down of 358 lumens, which will last for 62 more minutes. Now, one thing I appreciate about that step down, I mention it in almost every flashlight video I do, is I always appreciate a step down that's higher than our high mode. It's only 27 lumens higher than our high mode, but still higher. And the reason that's such a big deal to me is if you're using a turbo mode, it's because you want more output than your high. So when the step down drops below your high mode, usually it's somewhere between medium and high, it really defeats the purpose of having a turbo mode, because you only have something brighter than your high mode for a few seconds, in this case 80. But luckily this one does step down a little bit higher than our high mode, so really appreciate that aspect of it. Now we also have a strobe mode, which is the same as our high mode, 331 lumens, 68 minutes. I am going to jump into that, so if you're sensitive to strobe, go ahead and skip forward about 15 seconds. I'll only leave it on for a second, but a quick triple tap is what gets you into your strobe mode. And so there you go. Again, same as our high output. We have a lockout mode as well by quadruple tapping. And then if you try and turn it on in that lockout mode, you'll get your battery indicator just letting you know that it's in lockout. you can quadruple tap again to get out of that. Now that's definitely a good thing because it says a high output, so it's going to get very hot, and it's got an easy button to press if it's in a pocket or in a bag, that sort of thing. It is pretty easy to just accidentally pass over this button and press, so you do want a lockout mode there. Now I've mostly been using this one for walking my dog at night, going out for cigars at night, so a lot of times it's handheld and really hasn't been an issue where I need to use that lockout mode, but again, you'll appreciate it if you do need it. In terms of throw distance, they do not give the meters for each individual mode, but in that turbo mode, all the way up to about 515 meters. And this does throw very nicely. It also has a pretty wide beam, so kind of a nice hybrid of the two, where you still get a lot of that flood in your close-up positions, but it throws out pretty far and pretty nicely. Also, just love the overall design of this one. I think a slick-looking flashlight. Love the desert tan. All of my other options have been black, and so do like the desert tan quite a bit here. I think it looks great. We do have a lanyard hole on the back. It comes with a wrist strap, no pocket clip, so that's worth noting if you're a big pocket clip guy, that there is no pocket clip that ships with it, or even that's available for this light that I know of, so that is of note. But I think a really great output for the price, again, $40. I think that's a great price point for this one. Simple UI, and I just love the overall look of it. I'm a sucker for when a flashlight looks like a traditional flashlight shape rather than just the tube. For whatever reason, I just like it so much more. But let me know what you think of this one down in the comments below. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, subscribing, joining the channel as a member. They all help the channel out a ton. And as always, hope you have a great one. Take care.